you are an ambitious and driven woman and you are struggling with your health, with your weight, but especially with your low energy, with your bloating and your binge eating, listen to this. Today, I'm going to be sharing with you actually the 3 health mistakes that 90% of driven and ambitious women are doing every single day that is keeping them exhausted, bloated, and as well stress eating, and how to fix it. But before I get started, let me introduce myself. My name is Dina Merhbi. I am a nutritionist, an NLP practitioner, and as well, I'm a yoga and mindfulness teacher. And my aim is to create kind of a systemic approach, having a bird's eye view to help ambitious women reach their goals, but actually sticking to their goals. So you really want to listen to this, because very often, which is going to be the mistake number 1 that most women do, actually what most people do when it comes to their health, is that they kind of go all in and they want to change everything. Okay, they want to change the nutrition and the fitness and the sleep and the mindset and the environment. And while we're at it, let's declutter, let's clean up, let's change everything. However, to create a lasting habit, a changing habit, and as well not to be overwhelmed with the exhaustion of changing something in our life, we need to make sure we do one thing at a time. Because I don't know if you heard about the domino effect. The thing is, when you start creating a change in one habit and you really anchor it in, it will make it easier for you to actually get that second habit anchored into your day-to-day easier. And then you add a third habit, and then you add a fourth habit. And this is really called the power of momentum. Making sure that you stick to one habit, you really make it anchored into your day-to-day as if it's second nature, and then you add on something else. And this is the thing, I know you're very motivated and you're like, I can do it all. But I know you've done it all and you are still struggling. Why? Because slow and steady wins the race. So this is the number 1 mistake that I see, because I know you're ambitious. But ambition actually can be very detrimental for your health, because we get into this whole all or nothing. I do it all or I do nothing, which is problematic. Slow and steady wins the race. So if you really want to do it all, make sure you focus on one thing at a time, anchor it in, make it part of your day-to-day, and then you're going to have that amazing domino momentum effect of getting a second one successful and a third one successful. The second health mistake that many people do, and listen, I've done those in the past. It is okay. We need to kind of learn from them to be able to create a change. The second one, actually, especially if you have your own business, or you can say like you're workaholic, you have so many amazing ideas in your business that you want to create, and you don't take a break. One of the biggest mistakes that I did when I started my online business, or even when I was in my corporate job, and I see a lot of my clients do, is that we're doing it all, but we are sitting on our desk all day, outputting energy into our business. And even though you're waking up, you're looking forward to it, and you're tapping at your computer and you're doing it all, what happens is that your body actually has a battery life. Your body actually has a motivation battery life. Did you know that? You cannot try to do it all and sit down all day and put all your energy in your business, and as well think that your body's going to be ready to actually shed the weight, feel better, release the bloating, release the binge eating, and actually feel energized. Because we have seen that even though you're putting in like your 8 or 10 hours, you're probably only productive 2 to 3 hours, because we have something called not a habit shift, a task change. Every time you change tasks, it takes you double the time to actually get back into the task, right? We get distracted with emails, with social media, and we're still like doing everything because we're kind of going in the flow. However, when you're not taking a break all day long, guess what happens? Guess what happens at the end of the day when you kind of hopefully close your computer and like be part of the world? You actually did not have a moment to breathe during the day. You didn't even have a moment that is like a me time during the day. So what happens is at the end of the day, your me time is actually food, because it's easy, it's accessible, and it's yummy, and it does decompress you. Because when you're go, go, go all day and there isn't any me time, there's actually stress that's coming in, and as well a bit of anger, resentment of all the energy you're putting into your business, into whatever activity you're doing for your work. So at the end of the day, you have that me time, which becomes food, because it's easy, it's accessible, and you don't have to leave the house. This is a big health mistake. It's not by getting on a diet and getting on a fitness plan that's going to be changing everything. The number one thing that I actually tell everybody that works with me is that when are you having breathers during the day? When are you taking a break? And no, checking email is not a break. Doing laundry is not a break. If you're working from home, all these things is not a break. What are you doing that is really just for you? So think about that. Is there any me time during the day, any breather time, so that when you end your day at work, you actually had all these moments to take a break. You actually won't feel the need to binge eat, stress eat, or even compulsively emotionally eat because it's my me time at the end of the day. Think about that. The third thing, and this was fascinating because I'm reading studies about this, the more it should actually be our first line of defense in a certain way. It is actually one of the biggest mistakes as we're getting older, as we're adulthood, and we're like, I'm able to. I've been doing this for years. I can live off coffee. I'm fine. One of the biggest health mistakes that most people do, especially ambitious people, is the lack of sleep. Did you know, and I'm going to read the studies, did you know that in 2019, a study showed that poor quality and quantity of sleep leads to more frequent food cravings and worse dietary quality? So kind of like, okay, let's get into that a little bit more. What does that mean? It's actually been shown that sleep deprivation blunts activity in the appetite regulation regions, which means in your brain, your hunger and your fullness get completely confused when you're not sleeping enough and a good sleep. And as well, it leads you to an increased appetite. And listen to this, and a desire for weight gain promotion food items, high calorie foods. So when you're exhausted and you're not sleeping, you actually have an increased hunger signal, making you go for these high caloric foods. Again, there's nothing wrong with the chips and the cookies and the sugar, nothing, when you're enjoying it and you're really taking the time. But when your body is going in a survival mode, when you have lacked sleep, and then you're going for these high caloric foods, no wonder you're always struggling. And it's actually shown as well that insufficient sleep leads to development or maintenance of obesity. So if you're not happy with your weight or you gained weight recently and you've been trying to do with the food and the fitness, look at your sleep. Are you sleeping enough? 7 to 9 hours. Yes, you're an adult. You still need to sleep 7 to 9 hours. Or are you actually having a restful type of sleep? And the restful sleep, it's all about your cortisol level, your stress hormones. And something as well that I look with my clients, I look in terms of their day-to-day, is their cortisol high? Are they always in a stress mode, in a panic mode, in anxiety mode? And that actually prevents you from sleeping well. You can sleep 7 hours, but it's not a refreshing sleep. Because if you're living off coffee and sugar and keep going, and even like energy drinks, you should be able to go on without any of those. Just a side note, I quit coffee 2 months ago. I wake up at 6 a.m., I go to bed at 10, and I've never had so much energy. I am doing this training right now. If you're watching it on the replay, it's 4 p.m. Usually I am exhausted, even after I had my third cup of coffee, and I had to create a change. I realized that the more I was having coffee, guess what it was doing? It was having a negative impact on my sleep. And bad sleep made me want to have more coffee. It was really such a vicious cycle because coffee stays in your system for 9 to 12 hours, caffeine. Just, adding that in, okay? So again, sleep is something so vital. Doesn't matter how old you are. 7 to 9 hours, no matter what, of restful sleep, good quality sleep is going to be helping you with your focus, your performance with work, like 100%, but as well with your cravings and your bloating and your stress eating and your weight. It is a given. And when you look in terms of so many sleep studies coming in, and it makes us think we keep focusing on forcing the nutrition and the fitness, but you see what I talked about today. Again, let's do a recap of the 3 things. Number 1, trying to do it all. When you're trying to kind of create a change in your health, you cannot change it all. Slow and steady wins the race. You always need to see what are the tasks, what are the habits you want to implement, and create the domino momentum effect. Which first one can you actually do? Create an anchor, and that's just going to create a domino on the second habit. That's going to be a momentum of you creating a change. And the third, and then the fourth, and next thing you know, one thing leads to another, and you're able to change a lot of things. Not because you forced it, but because you gave yourself time to anchor and change those habits. The second thing, and this is really for everybody, all day sitting at your desk and just doing work, even just doing laundry, just doing cooking, all these things, as much as like laundry and cooking, it's a necessity sometimes. You also have to think about the me time, because when you go all day long, what happens at the end of the day? When you close up your laptop or the kids go to bed, you're like, now it's me time. And very often me time is food related because it tastes good, it's filling, it's an activity, and it actually does boost your happy hormones. And the third thing that I really want to mention in terms of one of the main health mistakes many ambitious driven women do, especially people that are entrepreneurs and coaches and have their own business, not focusing on their sleep. Sleep has to be something that is so anchored in your routine, because sleep deprivation dysregulates your hunger and fullness signals, which means you're hungry more often, and you might actually feel like a bottomless pit by the end of the day that you can eat, and it's not enough. And as well, it actually increases the cravings for those high caloric foods, the cookies, the pastries, the cakes, whatever the body can get in, because the body's stressed from the lack of sleep. And what I forgot to mention is that your metabolism did not go up. You don't have an increased need of calories on those days. That's why those cravings that are coming in from sleep deprivation lead to weight gain, because you're not necessarily burning them off at all. There's just a dysregulation in your brain making you crave those foods. So think about it. Let's take a step back for a second. If this is something that you want to create a change, and if these health mistakes actually do a ding, 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 ding in your brain, you're like, I've been there. Here's the thing. Changing your health is not rocket science. It's actually much simpler than that. Changing your health is not an overnight solution. You did not create a successful business or any lasting change by doing it overnight. By understanding what is your vision, connecting to it, releasing what is no longer serving you, finding ways to energize and activate your energy, your focus, your metabolism. You also need to transform your day-to-day habits to be able to actually prioritize yourself and your sleep, which we're going to look at into as well. And all that helps you embody exactly the person that, not that you're meant to be, but that you are, by peeling all those layers of things that no longer serves you, all the things that you were trained or taught or you just kind of got into, and peeling all those layers to really finally find your best self that is just inside of you. And we just peel those layers. This is exactly what I do with my clients. Is the CREATE program: connect, release, energize, activate, transform, and embody. And it is a multifaceted process that is honestly life-changing, because we look at you as a whole. I look at you as a whole. I have a bird's eye view focus to help you create that change. But remember, when I work with my clients, these amazing driven women, is to understand we are going to take our time, because we want to create that domino momentum effect that actually creates like massive change without even realizing. But we also need to take time for us, because you didn't create the business that you wanted. You didn't create, for example, the family environment that you wanted or that promotion that you wanted to just be exhausted, burned out, and actually looking in the mirror and not liking what you see. Because here is the thing. It is all about connecting what's going to make you feel good, because everything that we do is from the inside out. That's why the CREATE program is honestly transformative. But for today, I really want you to do kind of a recap. See, are you actually taking breaks during the day? And no, doing laundry between 2 coaching calls is not taking a break. It's your to-do list. It's not a break. And as well, are you trying to do it all at the same time? I know you're able to, but it's too much. It's not working. We need to step back. Number 3, I really want you to track your sleep this week. Are you actually sleeping? Yes, same time, every day. But is it good quality sleep? Do you still feel like you need a lot of caffeine to keep you going? Because then there might be other changes. And here's the thing, when you work with a coach on an outside perspective, we're able to see things that are very different. I'm able to have a bird's eye view, seeing all these different things, because my aim is to give you many different ways to help you create a change, because there isn't a one size fit all. You are unique. You are, if I can say, a snowflake, beautiful in your own way. And my aim is to actually help you peel all those layers to help you truly see what is the realistic way for you to create that change from the inside out, to help you feel amazing, confident, and happy in your day-to-day. This is why I love my work. That's how I love helping my clients. So I would love to know if you know anybody that would benefit from this video. It would mean the world to me to share it. If you're listening to this over on the podcast, do listen to all the other episodes. There's so much goodness coming in. And as well, if you have any questions or you're curious to know how we can work together, all you have to do is visit my website or just go to work with Dina.com or DinaMerhbi.com, and we can see how we can create a great fit to see how I can help you create a shift one step at a time by helping you create your dream lifestyle. On that note, I wish you a beautiful and energetic day. Dina Merhbi here, and I'll catch you in the next training.